What about, this is again, right? What will happen in 2024? So what's your predictions if you can list a few of them?
To joke on it a little bit, the magic 8 ball would say the outlook's quite uncertain.
Yeah.
But
it depends.
It depends. But all kidding aside with it, we look just at semiconductors. We tried to study history to some extent to find out, what does this cycle look like? So when you look backwards before you look forwards, the good news is the industry appears to be showing signs of bottoming really in June and into July. So that's the good news. And it's been a relatively minor peak to trough, roughly 9-10%, which is very good news after the explosive growth we've had the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So that's the good news. The challenging news is it's probably going to take a lot longer for us to get to that peak environment. If we've mapped every cycle relative to what the current down cycle is, going back to 1990, and this one really mirrors 2011.
Yeah.
Which there's some outside the industry stuff that makes sense. In 11, we had just recovered from the financial crisis, once in a 100 generations, 100-year storm. Industry took off, and then the inventory corrected, right?
Yeah.
Very similar thing, not making light of COVID and the humanitarian, right? But once in a 100-year event, industry shuts down, takes off, and now we're adjusting the inventory. So if you use 2011 as a proxy, it took 25 months for the industry to return to peak sales.
Okay.
So that means we peaked in October of 2022, which would put us returning back to October of 2022 levels on a monthly basis, arguably in November or December of next year, so 2024. So,
yeah,
how does that flush through kind of the overall full year numbers? For semiconductors this year, our estimate for the industry is down 12%, and that's really significantly pulled down by memory.
Yeah.
X memory, it's closer to 6%. I think the delta versus us versus other prognosticators, if you will, for next year is we think the inventory overhang just takes a little bit longer. So, if you want to put a letter on it, it went from V to K to W to U-shaped recovery. We're kind of the camp where it's more of an L, meaning, we stabilized here and we're going to kind of hang out here.
Yeah.
Probably until we get out of the Lunar New Year. We still have book-to-bill for the industry 8.8, so well below 1. You'll start, we would guess you would start to see a bookings rebound potentially in late this year. And then, but really you get into kind of February-ish of next year, you pause, you evaluate the inventory, you get out of the shutdowns throughout Asia for the holiday. And then we look and say, okay, where are we from an inventory standpoint, and how does that match up with the demands? Yeah, I think when you boil it up for next year, we think the good news is it's not going to be worse. But we think it's a flattish to slight growth year next year. We just kind of cycle through some inventory.
If you like Mind Innovation, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and share the show wherever you get your podcast. You can follow Sannah Vinding and Mind Innovation on Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And make sure to check out mindinnovation.com. Stay curious and keep learning. See you next time.